for this now, what we need to do, we'll start by the top navigation. So I want to add the logout button. So for the logout button, there is you can get that interface if you go to admin LTE, then you say logout drop down. I'm not sure if, no, let me see if it is here, just a minute. Let's see if it is here. So if you come to pages, I think so we have what you call the legacy user menu. Yeah, so this is what I'm looking for. So legacy, it was there a long time ago if you've been a follower of this component. So this is the one I want to utilize. So you can come and get it here, legacy user menu. So that's the one I want. So I've already adjusted it, so I'll just put it here. So I'll replace it like that. So you can go get it and then adjust it based on whatever I am showing here. So you can see it's saying full screen. Then here we have the user image showing the user session email like that. Then the user footer, it has the sign out. Okay, so so these ones you just come within the code and add them here like this. Then import this. So using system security claims like that. And then as usual, pick this. And then come to the inputs. This one helps with better organizing. So that's why I like putting them there, and I can reuse them whenever there is need for such. Okay, so let's click up like that. So now, so this is the top navigation bar, and we can try and see. So if I close this and then I say start without debugging, I can close this. Yeah, so it's here. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see the session is still there, but this is the user that is a string. So let's try and sign out here. Yeah, and you can see it's working. So again, I can sign in. My username is string. So it's there. Okay, so again, let me sign out. So for this login, there is a RADSEN notification that we need to show here. Once you log in and it's successful, it should write you login success. So let's add that quickly. So what that needs to happen, you see now the login page is borrowing from the authentication layout. So we go to the authentication layout and just down here, you add this RADSEN notification. Remember, this notification, we've put it already within the main layout here. So we're also putting it under this layout. So you'll be able to see that notification. And where is that notification coming from? The notification is coming from here, so you can see. So this is the notification that we talked about earlier. So now if with that, if I debug, then say start without debugging, so it is here. Let's see. Still loading. Let's give it a few seconds. Yes, so it is loaded. Let's do it again. So here I say string. Let's see. So you can see login successful, then login. So this is our home page. So what we now need to do next is change our sidebar to just have the components that we need, for we don't need all of them. Okay, so let's do that. So as you can see, we have it from here. I'll just replace it with the one I already have to just save on time, then walk you through. So I'll replace it with mine here. So you can see I'm again employing the nav link. This one is for Blazor routing. So we have the dashboard. And then the other thing that you're doing is we are adding an authorization view, that there are views which if you are authorized, that's when you will see them. So like for this dashboard, anybody can see. But for things to do with administration, that is system users and roles, only those who are authorized as admins can be able to view. Because remember, based on what we created for the roles, if you check the role list, we have one role that we created, which is admin. So we can have another role for user. So if you log in as user, you'll not be able to see this authorization view for admins. So let's close it and see. So you can see it's the same thing, it's borrowing. We have the enabling for the dashboard, for the demos, then system users, then authorization. All of them within the unordered list within the nav tag. Okay, so that is it. So let's run and see. So debug, start the debugging. So it's here. Let's see. Yes, so you can see, because I'm an admin, I am able to see the administration. So you can have system users. Again, this one is saying sorry because I've not created those pages again for rows. Okay, so but you can see the dashboard is showing very well. Yeah, so now let's work on the dashboard and then these two. And I think with those two we'll have wrapped up all that was required for this tutorial. Let's do that quickly. So to be able to do the system roles and system users, so we'll add a new razor component. So we'll call it system system roles. Add like that. So here I'll work with the code part first. So I'll just paste them, explain them what we are doing here. So of course we have a declaration of the two variables, session name and email, to hold the session, and then we are calling the authentication state. So here we are calling it, and then we will initialize it to know if we are logged in or not. Then here let's import these ones from entities. So this one is to hold, this is a model of the role, then the list of roles. Then this one is to hold a selected role within the Radsen data grid. I think I'll be able to show you that once we have this. And then here we are creating a role DTO, and then we get this one here, we are getting all the available roles, and then we are calling the app service to get the roles, passing in the session user ID. Then on initialization, we are getting the status of the user, and then getting all the claims for the name, email, and the user ID. And then we get all roles when this page is initialized. And then this one here, the selected app role is the role that has been selected when you click. So this one is about when you click the data grid, but it is initializing just in case you've stored it somewhere. And then here, this one is the save method. So what happens here? We add this to the create role DTO, the app role that the user has passed. And then if, of course, it has to have a value, else we will not supposed to be department, supposed to be role. Else will show an error, and if not, we will initialize the general response, then update role if the ID is more than 0. If not, meaning is a new role, we will just we'll call the create role, and then we will give a positive response for a true and a negative response for a false. And then here we have the dialog service, which we have to inject. Let me just do it here. So inject dialog. And then here we will say, so this is supposed to be a dialog service, then dialog service 1, like that. Yes. So now what happens here? Let me go back here. So it's if we have saved it successfully, or if we have a positive response, we close the dialog service for creating the role, and then give a notification that the role name details saved successfully, and then we refresh the roles that we have, and then we initialize the app role model so that you can be able to create a new role. Yes. If we have an error, we will show the exception, as you can see. Okay. Yeah. The edit one here, we are passing the roles to this, then showing the edit dialog. The create, we are initializing the app role with a new instance, and then showing the dialog as it is. So where is the dialog? The dialog is here. It is to create role, and you can see we are creating a role name only. That's the one that we are passing here, and when we do that, we call the save method. Okay, and it is an instance of this app role. So this app role is what is passed to this save method that you saw here, and it's the one that we are assigning the create role DTO to be able to push it to our web API. And then what else? Then we'll submit. On submit, you call the save method. In case it is invalid, you call the on invalid method, as you can see. So it will give you the error. Let's import this. So this is JSON So it will give you the error in JSON format. You'll be able to see that just shortly. And then here is it will show the notification. It will call this method to show that notification. So in case of a delete, we're initializing the delete and then passing the role ID to the delete function, then refresh the roles as it is. Then show the notification that the role deleted successfully. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay, so now what we need to do, let me just cut. Let's see, let me cut this out and then come to import, put them here like that. Cut this, put it down here. So that is the system row like that. So here we can add page title. So this is Spotlight. Then you say roles like that. So the other thing we need to add is this, to be able to call this page and then just say roles like that. So now when I take this and I bring it to this, and then here I will put it here. Actually, manage role. Let me use that. Manage roles like that. Okay, so let's run and see. So you can see it's loading. Let's let it load and let's try and see. Yeah, so if I come here and then say system users, it will say no. But if I try roles, so you can see is system role, so it is seen. So it's not displaying because I have not added the data grid. So let's do that quickly. So to add the data grid, which is a part of the RADSEN component, so this is the data grid, and then we use, let me remove this. So this is outlet, so roles. Okay, so you can see not very difficult. So what is it doing? So we have first this button. This button is to create a role, so it will launch the dialog, and then this is the RADSEN data grid. So what it is doing, it is tracking whatever role that you've selected, and then it will display the list of the app roles that are here, that the ones that have been loaded by the application. Okay, so this get role is being loaded initially. So this is the one that we are feeding here, and then we are displaying the components of the application role, so the ID and the role name, and then these columns are for the edit and delete. So you can see, so the edit and delete, they are calling the edit and the delete function, the ones that we wrote down here. So you can see here, if you go to the definition, so it is calling the edit where you pass the model selected, and for create it will create just the one, and then for delete again it will pass the ID. Yeah, so that is it. And this is the same way that the users will look, because they are pretty much the same. So edit, delete. So you can see. So with this, let's save and let's run again. We see. Yeah, so it's here. Let's loading. Let's see how it looks. So it's here. So you can see that is it. Very beautiful and easy just to follow. So now here, if I try to create, you can see if I try to submit, this is the JSON that we talked about. So I can now add user, submit, and you can see I can edit user. Let's say user one, it is editing the user again, submit. So you can see this is the notification that Radsen is giving us, and it is very rich. You can do a lot of stuff in terms of trying to search. You can see you can apply, you can clear, all of that is available. Again, you can delete this. So that is for the roles. So you can, the guess is good as mine. For the system users, again, pretty much the same. It's just a few differences with the fields that we are passing. So let's finish that quickly. So with that, we'll have this. So the next, now let's finalize with the system users. So I'll come here, add a eraser component. Then you'll say system users, then add. And to save on our time, let me just add the entire code, and then we can explain it end to end. So I'll paste the entire code here. I'm sure there are no errors because most of them have been resolved by the roles page. So this one is supposed to be auth light. Sorry. So auth light, and then here I'll just say app users. So this is again the data grid. This is authorization, meaning there is another way to authorize users where you don't have to put them within these tags. You just put it on top of the page. I think I may talk about it later because that's not the major reason for this tutorial. It's just to show you how you can utilize the routes and components and call the web API. So to avoid confusion, let me start with the code. So here again we are calling the session and then checking the authentication state. So we have these variables that you have called, and then we are also checking the roles and the users. Then we are initializing the two here. Here we are getting the claims for the user, and then also here we are checking the user that has been selected. Okay, so then we have a method to create, so it will call the show dialog also for the edit, and then the delete is pretty much the same as the one that we created. So it's saying user deleted successfully. Again, for the save, what we are doing is simple. We are checking if the app user, but where is this coming from? So let me go back to this. Let me go back to our dialog. You can see the user dialog is a bit lengthy, but it's the same thing. So it is calling the register user DTO with the instance of app user, So what happens here is that you will pass the app user.name with this validator of name. For email, the same, and then there is an email validator which will let you know whether the email is correct or not. And then the password has a bit of complexity, but you can adjust it based on your liking. So here it's saying that please use at least a lower character, upper at least a number. So all these are regex validators that I tried to find online, but you can read more about it and see better ways to capture it. But we also have the main one, which if you don't want to use the validators, you can just use this, even though you may not find the granular data that you want a user to enter into that component. And then, of course, the confirm password, it is confirming based on the password that has been passed in this on this field here. So you can see it here. So the value is this, the component confirm password. Then the text password should not be the same. Then no, password should be the same, meaning the password and the confirm password should be the same. And then we have the rows. So we have a new component we're introducing, that is the ransom drop down. You can see we are passing the role ID, the role name. Then here it's giving you the filter and all that. Then the validator here is the component role name, and the component is role name, and then the text will tell you the role name is required. And then this is the submit. So once you submit this form, you will call the save function, and if you have errors, it will call the invalid submit. So that is it, the show inline dialog. So that's what it will display. Hope you can see it fully. So this is what it will show. You can see, yeah. So once you hit submit, it will call the save method. So the save method, you're passing the app user ID, and that has the role ID, the name, email, and password. So if you don't supply all of them, you'll get the error as such. And then if so this one is showing if the app user.id is less than or 0, so meaning is a new user. So else if it is not a new user, it will check the app username and email, and then give you a notification again, because it will check the name and email, and then it will give you that error again. And then if everything is correct, you will pass to update or to create a user, and then you'll get a success or an error notification, as you can see. So that is it for the user. Okay, and then if you go down here, so we have I had changed, so we have two dialogues which are almost the same, the one for edit and the one for delete. It is more or less the same, but there's a way you can use one dialogue. I can't remember the logic that I was using to have this, but I'm sure there was. I'll not change it now, but you can change it to suit your own desire. And then of course these ones are the normal functions that we are calling here, as you can see. Okay, so the normal functions that you are calling here. So now with that, what it means, so this one is the show inline edit, and the other one is the show inline dialog. So this one is for edit, and the other one is for creating. So for edit, again, more or less the same. There is no much difference. Yeah, and you can see the reason why. Now I understand. So the reason why I am calling these two is because this one is when you are creating a new user. This is when you are editing. You see, when I'm editing a user, I only edit the name and email, and the role, nothing else. I don't edit the password because I don't need it. But there's a way you can capture it beautifully. So with all that, now you do the same thing. So here we are calling the ransom, not the ransom, the register user DTO with the ID, name, email, the role ID and the role name. And then of course this is the button to create, and then this one will display the users, the list of users. You can see this one will call the edit, clicked user, and the delete. So that is it. And then of course it's only authorized for admins. Let's do it and see. So debug, start without debugging. Yeah, so that is correct. Let's see, it's loading. Yeah, so that is it. So again, this is the dashboard. I'll leave it at this. You can adjust it to your liking. But now here, let's see system users. If you click and you have our user here. So how do we go about it? If you try to create, let's create. You can see our very beautiful form. If you try, you see it is giving you those errors. And then this is the user admin. So if I try, let me add one user here. Let me copy this, create. So user example one, email, I'll put it as user one, password, I don't know if like this. So you see it's giving us, so I'll say test at 123. Then again I'll say test at 123. Okay, then this is user. So if I submit, you can see very beautiful. No, I don't want to change. Okay, so now if you edit, see now what's happening. It is ensuring that well, I don't know what that was. Maybe I'm calling just the edit without the password. So you have to enter the password and then edit. So meaning the second this second dialog is not really important. I'm just calling one. Yeah, you can see here. I think I'm calling just one. Yeah, I'm just calling the one that one. So don't worry about the second one. You can use it for your own thoughts. Yeah. So with this, you see now if I pick this and then log out, let me show you something. So if I do this and then I say test at 123, so we log in, but now you see we cannot see the managed system users. Okay, so if I do this, if I come here and then say manage users, let's see what happens. So you can see it's just giving you a blank. So there's a way in which you can make it in such a way that it does not give a user blank. It redirects him to the dialog or something else. So that's something we can look in later. But I think this is all I had for this tutorial. The upcoming tutorials will be to build up on whatever we have had, and I'll be talking about how you can extend this application to a full-fledged application. You can check in the comments. I have links to some of the projects that I have created, which is an extension of whatever I have just talked about here. Feel free to contact and so that you can understand more. Where you don't understand, I think we'll be able to assist you to the best of our ability. But again, thank you very much for being part of this journey. I am grateful and humble that you've taken the time to go through the entire series, and I hope that you've learned something. I wish you well as you continue your development journey, and I know you'll create more and better products that will help users better their skills and users be able to do their work more effectively. So if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. It goes a long way in helping us be better in the way we deliver our information to you. But all in all, that is all we had for this tutorial. Please check out our other tutorials that we have created, and we'll be glad to hear from you in the comment section through our social platforms. All is welcome, but feel free and have a good day. Thank you.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.